All right, Katie, thank you for submitting your Fight to Win match here to be reviewed and analyzed by me. So let's get started here. You're going to look at the initial approach. Wow, quick pace here, right to the guard pole. Looking good there with the head control. I'm going to pause here real quick. One thing I would really like you to work on, and I would like to see here, when she's working for the inside position, so we'll look here. She's controlling 2-on-1 on your wrist here, and you're still sticking with this single collar tie on her neck. It would be more beneficial for you here to work on bringing this arm, okay, the arm that's controlling her head, inside of her forearm here, okay, to the inside of this forearm. So I'd like to see battle for inside control, having this arm inside of her arm versus on the outside of her head here, on the outside of her body. All right, so we're going to advance it from here. All right, you're looking to scoop and go underneath here, I'm assuming. Doing a good job with this top side frame. However, I would like to see your head a lot closer to the floor when you're planning on going underneath here. Okay, you want to scoop and go underneath, but you're allowing her to have this control of your head. So being that she's a relatively the same size, same weight class as you, it's probably not going to give you as much of an issue as it could. But we have to be careful with this. Anytime we lift our head and allow the person to control underneath our neck, when we want to create this entry underneath, that could give us a problem. All right, so let's see how it plays out here for you. All right, so she was able to shut down that entry with that head control. Very nice. All right, let's go back. So you're working a sit-up guard here, back to that single collar tie. Looks like you were thinking about maybe going for a hip bump sweep almost from here. Post it up on the hand. Right, in her reaction, she's going to step that back leg forward, and that gives you your opening to come up here, which you did a really great job of capturing this ankle as soon as she started to come up to the top here. That's what's going to give you your opening. Capture the ankle, come right up to the top. Beautiful sweep. Right into the front headlock position now. Circling hip to hip. So far you're making a lot of good choices here. Yeah, let's go back here, because this was a mistake right here. Okay, so we go. Okay, working the front headlock, you're a little too far forward here. Okay, your head is way down by her lower back. She's got a lot of room underneath here, okay, to move. And she's doing a good job of controlling your wrist on the attacking arm, the arm that she needs to be worried about attacking her neck. So with you this far forward, you realize that and you make the adjustment. You do go to circle hip to hip with her, which was a very good choice, because you're a little too overcommitted forward at this point. There we go. You go to circle hip to hip. Now here, I think you want to dive on this far arm, but what's going to end up happening is she adjusts. Now, you're going for almost like a reverse triangle here, coming over the top. I see you here eyeballing the leg, and having watched you compete many times, I know that you were thinking about maybe entering into the toe hold from here. But what happens is you've committed your base so far forward now, and the alignment of your hips in comparison to her shoulders, this is what's going to allow her to elevate here. All right, she's going to work to elevate to escape this position. So let's see. Yep, she got a hold of your ankle. She comes up, turns out. I know this isn't a review for her, but beautiful job by your opponent to counter there. And one thing I'm noticing is, and we'll see if we can get a better angle here. Watch your footwork here. When you're circling, I want you to notice your feet are almost ending up in a direct line. Right there. Let's see, I know we got the ability to go slow-mo here. And you can see it starting here. Let's go, we went a little too far back. All right, just specifically, I want you to focus on what your feet are doing. All right, what those feet are doing. So let's look here. We're going to put it in slow-mo. See how even when you're walking here, your feet are getting narrow, but it's more important that you understand when you're circling. Okay, watch every time they end up on the same line. Okay, every time they end up on the same line, if she were someone who likes to shoot, right there is her opportunity to shoot. Now, you know she's too far away from you at this point, and also that she probably is more of a guard puller, but this is something we need to keep in mind, and a habit that needs to be fixed in case you are facing somebody who's more of a wrestler. There's a real good example of it there. Not only are your feet on the same line here, but you're also standing up very tall. You're very tall here. Her level is changed, right? Her relative head height here, much lower than yours. She's not quite close enough to you to shoot, because I don't think she could touch you from there. But this line of your feet, okay, you're in a direct line. If she were to shoot right there, going to be a very difficult task in stopping a strong blast double from there. We'll keep it in slow-mo to see if you continue to do this. Okay, now you're changing your level to match because you're getting ready to approach. She's nice and low. There it is again. See how your heels and your toe are on the same line here? Okay. Let's put this on your center line. Okay. Very, well, this is a very narrow foot positioning. Okay, so I want you to be real careful with this. We're too narrow here. Too much on the same line. Okay. Well, let's see if it mattered, though. So I'm going to put this back to normal. All right, single collar tie again. It's a quick scramble there. Beautiful job coming up. No secret here that you're wanting the leg attacks, and she is wanting the same. Okay, you do a beautiful job here of clearing your knee line, keeping your composure. What allowed her to create that entry, though, is in your footwork here. You're going to take a really deep step forward there. When you took this deep step forward right here, okay, you notice immediately what'd she do? Immediately she scooped and captured your leg, right? She's holding up by the knee. And here you're doing the right reaction. You're keeping your knee very low here, right? And putting pressure over her shoulder. But then you end up standing back up. And then she scoops the leg even deeper, which gives her her entry. And she had a pretty nice entry here. She just didn't have any control of your secondary leg, which is why you're so easily able to free your knee line and escape this. So that was a nice reaction by you. Good composure, but we could have been better with that entry for our passing to not even present her with the opportunity here to begin with. Much better positioning here, keeping the hips over the top. Now here's another mistake of getting a little high on the back. All right, but you do have one hook in this time, which is good. Working to flatten her out. You might have the other hook here. I can't quite see. I think it's a little shallow. She's blocking it. She's able to turn out. And from here, you're doing a great job applying the head pressure, keeping her from being able to go underneath. Good back step, looking for a leg entry again. Seeing all majority very good things here, just a few little minor areas of adjustment. Beautiful knee cut. Great head control and shoulder pressure. I would say something I would tell you would be to do more of this. Slow down, look for your control positions, cook the person a little bit more here. Make them uncomfortable so they move and they leave openings for you to capitalize on. Make them do some work because they're reacting to the pressure you're putting on them. And I have a feeling your coach here was telling you that very same thing, to cook her and put pressure and take your time. Now this was a little mistake. You could have mounted here. Okay, you could have mounted here, but you got in a little hurry and you left your foot behind. Okay, well, let's watch from here. You're sliding the knee across the belly. She already has control of your ankle. Okay, now where your instep needed to be as you first made that entry, your instep needed to be hooking on the outside of this leg. Okay, so from here, the top of your foot needed to be on the other side of this leg, so it wouldn't have mattered that she has this control on your ankle. Your shin and your instep hook would have driven both of her knees to this side on the mount entry. But instead what occurs is she has the ankle control, so when you go here, we're going to see she's able to feed it to her half. She's working to get the hook inside to create room to go underneath here. She does a great job of entering into the leg, but again, no secondary leg control on you. Free your knee line once again. Now you're looking to attack her. She's able to free her knee line. This is a great back and forth battle here for the leg game. Back to your front headlock. Let's see if you make the adjustment that we talked about earlier in the video. The main difference here at this point is that you're a little more perpendicular to her. And this is a better entry. Much better entry, your head level. Anytime we're in this back control, we're looking to have relatively the same head level as our opponent. Anytime our head level drops below or too far above that of our opponent, there's opportunities for them to escape. So here, you're keeping your head level relatively the same, which is very good. It's hard to see from this angle, but I assume that you're working to get an arm underneath the neck here. Work to set up a choke or get her worried about the choke so that you can further set your back control. Now you have back mount. You have her completely flattened out here. She lifts up. You're able to get the one hook in. Now the adjustment I would have suggested here would be to bring your knee, okay, so the knee that's back here presently, I would have tried to bring that up behind her shoulder, almost exactly where this circle is right now. If you could have brought the knee behind the shoulder and adjusted your chest behind the elbow. You could have adjusted your chest behind the elbow here, right? Then you would have been able to start working for back exposure and follow-up attacks. Let's see, maybe you make that adjustment after this point. Okay, looks like you were able to reset the hook, so you have better position now. Got her flattened back out. Working the chin strap, try to create that opening. This is all very good. Your opponent in this case has very good defense and is not giving you a lot of openings. So I can see that you're doing everything you can to create openings here. You're back on the front headlock. Now if you wanted the arm in guillotine there, so I'm not sure what you were trying to set up from here, if you were just using this for control, but as she is going to work to get up to her knees, if you would have simply dropped to your side, okay, and tucked her under this arm, at the same time securing your guard, whether it be a half or preferably a full guard, you're in the perfect position to finish the arm in guillotine from here. You're essentially already on the proper side of your body if you just drop to the mat here, and in transition, that might have been an opportunity of something that you could have exposed there based on her reaction. Yep, right there. You abandon it, but literally, if you would have held it, sat through to your guard, you may have been able to get that arm in guillotine position off of your front headlock that you've been playing most of this match. So that's something for you to start thinking about drilling from that front headlock, is going to be your arm in guillotines. We're in another scramble situation. You did a better job getting hip to hip here. Again, too far forward though. We were way too far forward. Creating scrambles right, that aren't necessary. You're making unnecessary work for yourself. Anytime you're ending up in this position, we'll go back here. Anytime you're that far forward with no hooks, only upper body control, and the person's able to get their hips this high, you can see she has her hips very elevated here. Okay, her hips are way up here, and what that creates is exactly what we see you experiencing in this video. Look at the angle you're at. You are head diving right into the mat, like skydiving right into the mat. She's going to continue to elevate, and she also has your arm controlled here. Okay, she has that arm control. So this is why a scramble is going to occur, because you overcommitted too high on the back without having proper control. See, already she bucks you forward. She's able to get her shoulders to the floor. And now she's looking for a knee bar on you from here. And she has a pretty good bite on it. You guys are getting close to this stage, but you're able to curl your heel. You scramble up nicely. Pays to be flexible. All right. Now you're on top, just sitting your weight down. All in all, a very awesome match. You did plenty to win in this rule set. You did a lot more things correctly than wrong. Just a few little things, the areas that I mentioned that we need to fine tune. But other than that, amazing match. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to analyze it. I hope that my advice is helpful and that you'll start drilling some of those areas of your game.